Good morning. Welcome to Keep the Faith with Pastor Frank. Pray things are going well with everyone. It's a nice Thursday morning. And when you join me, as always, give me a chance to say hi to you. It's it's got to be a part of my morning. So um, good morning, Sheila. I pray you're doing well. You and Mother are doing well. So it's good to see you online. Good morning, Gigi. Good to see you online. How's your dad doing? This morning we're going to be in Colossians chapter 3. Good morning, Janine. It's good to see you online this morning. I pray you're doing well. Good morning, Brother James. Pray you guys are doing well. We're going to be keep praying for him. Gigi. Good morning, Brother Lee. Are you doing well? And are you at your new church yet? Good morning, Brother Lewis. It's good to see you online. Pray you're doing well. We're going to be in Colossians chapter 3, and the first part of the chapter, we're going to look at the first part of the chapter and talk about the new life. And I just want to say a little bit. That's good, Brother Lee. We're praying for you. I know you're excited. Brother Lewis says good morning to everyone. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be in Colossians chapter 3. Now, Colossians is also written by Paul, the recognized author. He is, it's about 62 A.D. It's from prison, probably Rome, and the topic is false teaching. Now, we're not given a list of the false teachings here, because evidently the letter, everybody knows what the teachings were, so Paul just addresses it in several different things here. So what he does in this letter is he keeps Christ central, in that relationship with Christ central to your relationship with God. And evidently there was some other teaching that had come in, as in other letters that he had written to other churches. Some false teaching that came in that had mixtures of humanism, Judaism. It had, you had to follow the laws and some other different things so here again, we find that I think it's important for us to recognize as we read through the letters, and I think some people have a new idea of New Testament church being a church that is perfect and no problems and full of the spirit movement and things like that. And actually, all of these letters were written, save one, were written to uh, say kind of correct uh, false teaching that had crept in from many different ways. So um, it's uh, uh, it's important for us to understand that we ourselves need to uh, pay attention to what the scriptures tell us and not get caught up in false teaching ourselves, and no matter how quote unquote spiritual it sounds. Good morning, Sister Gail. It's good to see you online. Sister Cheryl, it's good to see you online. So let me read in uh, Colossians chapter 3, a few verses here, and we'll make a few comments. And just remember that the key to this, the key to being a born again Christian, is the key to it is keeping Christ central in your life, keeping Christ the reason for everything. Don't get caught up in trying to do good works. Don't get caught up in trying to keep the laws. Don't get caught up in trying to do other stuff. Keep the love for Christ and serving Him central in all that you do. So it says here, since you've been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share all his glory. So let's look at this just a little bit here. Since you've been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth, for you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. So this tells us that since we've been raised to new life in Christ, and that's what's actually happened, to set our sights on the things, and actually the King James, set your affection on things above. And that's important for us to understand. Good morning, Brother Theo. Good to see you online this morning. So set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits at the place of honor, God's right hand, and think about the things of heaven, not the things of the earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. Now, this is a thing that we really need to pay attention to here. It's really it's really interesting. I don't know about you, but when I read across this, it says here that we should think about the things of heaven, the realities of heaven, and think of things of heaven and not on the earth. But it seems like all of the things that are happening in the world today want to claim all of our thoughts, because everything is happening so quickly. There's a terrible earthquake in Turkey and Syria. There's war going on in Ukraine, threats of war with China and Taiwan. There's a lot of things going on in other different countries. There's just a lot happening in the world that wants to claim. Plus, we have to go to work. We have to do our job. We have to get paid. We have to pay the rent. Everything is clamoring for our attention to be focused on the things of the world. And we hear that term very often focus on what you have to do, focus on what you have to get done, focus on things. This tells us something that's different. It says for us to think on the things of heaven. Now, and you have to look in, but there's a lot that is told us about heaven, and I think that one of the things we need to realize is that if we were to begin to set our affections on that heaven with God and think on those things more, we wouldn't be so captured by all of the things that are happening here. Uh, I don't know about you, but my stress life seems to go between pretty good and pretty high. So it's just, and I'm not usually like that. But the thing is that so many things are happening, so many things are going on that we get caught up in it. And this tells us we should set our affections. We have a new life. We need to live that new life. So I want to go on and read just a little bit. It says, and this is cool. When Christ, who is our life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. Now that to me is just it is a phenomenal statement. It is just absolutely blows my mind to think that we will share in the glory of Christ when he's revealed to the world. That is just something that is just to think about. That is just it's a phenomenal thought, especially when you're a person that hasn't been much in the limelight. You may think you've been forgotten. You may think you're don't make a difference. You may think, but when Christ comes and you're a born again believer, you're going to share in the glory of Christ. I mean, not just in front of a few people, but in front of the whole world. So let's read on here just a little bit. So put to death the sinful earthly things lurking within you, have nothing to do with sexual immorality, impurity, lust, and evil desires. Don't be greedy, for a greedy person is an idolater, worshiping the things of this world. Because of these sins, the anger of God is coming. You used to do these things when your life was still part of this world, but now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malicious behavior, slander, and dirty language. So I'm going to read that little bit again. So, but now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malicious behavior, slander, and dirty language. Don't lie to each other, for you've stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. In this new life, it doesn't matter if you're a Jew or a Gentile, circumcised, uncircumcised, barbaric, uncivilized, slave, or free. Christ is all that matters, and he lives in us. And I think that we can't overstate the impact of that statement. The 11th verse, in this new life, it doesn't matter if you're Jew or Gentile, circumcised, uncircumcised, barbaric, uncivilized, slave or free. Christ is all that matters, and he lives in all of us. And there we come again to Christ is all that matters. And we need to continue to realize that Christ is all that matters. And so, I guess maybe last Sunday, I spoke about love at our Sunday service. I'm going to continue that on this coming Sunday. I'm going to continue. I'm going to, I guess, finish up that sermon on Sunday. I only got part of the way through. But this love for Christ is what makes everything works. And so it's more important than a lot of things. It's more important than all the knowledge you could have. It's important than all of the other things you can have. 1 Corinthians 13 tells us all of those things. So here this morning, it says in verse 10, put on your new nature. So this means you put on a conscious effort to put on that born again, Christ believing, Christ loving you, and be renewed uh, as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. And I think sometimes when we've been serving the Lord for a long time, we forget that we should do this. We should uh, uh, put on our new nature and uh, let our thinking be uh, learning to know our Creator and become more like Him. And that's one of our main purposes in life, is to become like Christ. So this morning, I encourage you, wherever you are, God knows who you are. God knows where you are. God knows what you need. Put on the new nature, become more like Christ, and let Christ use you to touch someone else. Keep the faith. God bless you. I pray that God would richly enrich your life, and forward to seeing you in the morning at 6:30, God willing, and keep the faith.